Good morning, Carlos Ramirez, owner of NVSAUDIO in Roselle, New Jersey. Before I get into my next video, I just want to make it clear that I am not bashing Rockford Fosgate. We use Rockford Fosgate, we love Rockford Fosgate. The DSR1 processor we always have in stock and is our #1 selling processor by far. The Power Series motorcycle amplifier, the TM400X4 AD, is a very flexible and powerful amplifier. The problem is it lacks output power. Rockford has the ability to build more powerful amplifiers, but for some reason they've chosen to stay out of that segment of the market. But if you only need 400 watts, Rockford gives you clean power, doesn't have any of the hiccups or problems that the other motorcycle amplifiers in its class have. It's one of the few amplifiers that will give you the same amount of power, 4 ohms and 2 ohms. So the amplifier minimum will give you 100 watts by 4 into 4 ohms and 100 watts by 4 into 2 ohms. So that makes it very flexible in a lot of different configurations. They make the amplifier wiring kit, they make the amp mounting plates. So if you're going to do the install yourself, Rockford is definitely the easiest route. But it is not a one-size-fits-all. We have a bike here that we're fixing that was done by another shop where they made the mistake of they didn't properly qualify the customer and see what his needs were, so they took out the 600 watt Boom audio and they upgraded him to the 400 watt Rockford Fosgate system, and he's not happy. He lost overall volume. That wasn't his goal. His goal was to make it louder. They made it sound clearer, but he wanted it clearer and louder, so they went the wrong route with this. Let me show you what's going on. How you doing? It's Carlos Ramirez, owner of NVSAUDIO in Roselle, New Jersey. Today I want to talk about upgrading the audio on your Harley. See, the problem is, and I have to choose my words carefully because I don't want it to sound like I'm bashing or talking down, but upgrading Harley motorcycle audio is not a one-size-fits-all. The bike behind me is a CVO. Came with the Boom Audio Stage 2. Customer's not happy with the sound. This bike came all the way from Connecticut. So what happened was the customer wasn't happy with the way his Boom audio sounded, so he wanted an upgrade. So he went to the local bike audio shop and they just automatically went with the Rockford Fosgate system. I'm not saying anything bad about Rockford Fosgate. We use the Rockford DSR1 processor on 90% of our bike builds. The Rockford lid kit is our favorite lid kit, and it's the easiest way to add speakers to the back of your Harley if it did not come with speakers. It's a quality kit. You've heard me talk about it before. I love it. It's weather resistant. It offers a lot of value because for $500 retail, you don't have to repaint the lids, comes with a decent speaker, handles a decent amount of power, and then for most customers that want a stage 1, stage 2 upgrade, it makes them happy. The problem is the Rockford system is 400 watts. The CVO on this bike came with a 600 watt system. So when they upgraded the audio, the customer actually lost power. The customer complained that it sounded worse after the Rockford upgrade than it did from factory. So he wasn't happy with his factory 600 watt Rockford Fosgate system. So he definitely was going to be happy with the 400 watt upgrade. The Rockford system does sound better than the factory Boom audio, but it is not louder. The customer wanted it both. He wanted it louder and he wanted it to sound better. So in the right situation, the Rockford upgrade would be the correct. Not in this situation. So if you customer purchases a CVO, in some cases CVO literally costs double what a regular Harley Davidson Road Glide costs. So an upgrade for a bike that only came with front speakers and didn't come with the Boom audio, the Rockford would definitely be an upgrade. Boom audio packages up to 800 or I believe 1,000 watts. They like using 200 and 300 watt amplifiers, putting it all over the bike. So there would be one in the front, one in each bag, one in the tour pack. So you have to understand the system and you have to go over the system with the client to make sure that you're giving the client what he's asking for. So the Boom audio to me is like a Bose audio and a Cadillac Escalade. So there are upgrades, but an entry-level 4-speaker is not going to be or equal a factory Bose. It's the same thing with Harley audio upgrade. Before you offer the customer an upgrade, make sure you're clear on what the customer's goals are. If the bike already came with 600 watts from factory, you need to make it equal or more powerful than that. We have staged upgrades here at NVS Audio. Our lowest stage starts with an 800.4. So even our lowest stage is still 200 watts more than the Boom 2. So what we're going to do with this bike is we're going to do our stage 3, which is replacing the front speakers, adding an 800.4, adding a DSP, flashing the radio. Then we're going to upgrade the lid speakers. The lid speakers, if the customer hadn't blown his factory Boom 2 speakers, we would have kept those speakers, re-amplified them, and then on the DSP with the proper crossover point, these speakers can actually handle power. I like them because they're coaxial. On the factory amplifier with the factory tune, they sound terrible. On our aftermarket tune, with our aftermarket amplifier and DSP, we make them sound great. And then we're going to add mid-bass drivers in the bottom of the bags with a second 800.4. So this bike's going to sound great. He blew one of his factory 5x7, so that's no longer an option. We're probably going to convert the 5x7s in the top to 6.5s and go with a more powerful 6.5. I'll let you know what we decide after we get it taken apart. But the purpose of the video is please understand what the factory audio does and make sure you're offering your customer an upgrade that is really an upgrade. So since this is a CVO, like we've done before, we're gonna take out all the CVO Boom audio harnesses. We're gonna give everything back to the customer along with the Boom audio amplifier. We're gonna make new custom harnesses and block off plates using the same mounting positions as the factory. So we're not gonna drill any holes other than cutting the holes for the subs in the bag. Everything's gonna be serviceable, quick disconnects. We're gonna give the radio a flash, we're gonna add a DSP, and we're going to be running 1600 watts versus his Boom audio 600 watts and versus the Rockford Fosgate 400 watts. The Rockford upgrade is a good upgrade, just not for this bike. If we were doing Rockford in this bike, we would run at least to the 400.4s, but that's a topic for another day. So hope this helps. If you have any questions, give us a call at the shop.